What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about it. The way I see this is entirely different than a lot of other people may see it. I understand it. It's more of a business model than anything, but this is the truth behind the beef with Steph Curry and Nike. Now, when Steph was in high school, Steph was doing everything. And, I mean, that's all you heard about was Stephen Curry. You know, that was the big thing. Dale Curry's son, Stephen Curry. He's in the basketball camps. He was Nike. His father, everybody around him was all about the Nike brand. So if anybody was going to be viewed as the it guy, that person was going to be Stephen Curry. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Stephen Curry was going to be it. He was developing himself so well while at Davidson. Everything he did, he had that Nike logo behind him. He went to Chris Paul's youth camp. You know, came up under Chris Paul's youth camp. Wanted to do that. Wanted to get involved in that and be a part of it. So his first deal was with Nike, coming right out of college. You know, his whole team in his college wore all Nikes. He came in the league wearing Nikes, and in his biggest breakout year in 2013, where against the Knicks, he scored 54 points. And that was like the Steph Curry breakout game. And he did it in like some Air Maxes that he had on. And it was a big year for him. That was a big time. Then he came to Now, Steph had been known through Nike for years. So the people that's representing Nike, they all know who Steph is. You know, so he's like, all right, well, this is great. You know, these guys I know, and, you know, this is just going to be just a formality. So they set up a date for a meeting with Steph Curry, and it didn't go through. It's like, they're like, oh, well, we're going to have to reschedule. Came up, so we apologize. We want to come there and set a time. So Steph was like, oh, no problem. You know, things happen. You know, I make sure I tell my dad, you know, get everybody here that's going to represent me. So his father, Dale, and everybody's there. They all know each other. And it just that they started pitching him. And, he, you know, even though this is their job, these are the people he's known and been friends with for all these years through the process. Or so he thought these were his friends. So they're beginning to pitch him. And they're like, well, Steph was like, well, you already know what I want. You know, see, that's the thing about Stephen Curry at that time. You know, I don't know about now, but at that time, Stephen Curry was more like direct. Like, you know, like we're talking. I already told you what I wanted and what we were looking for. Like, it didn't even need to be a negotiation. We have lawyers here for all the paperwork, but yeah, if you needed to hear from me again, okay, that's fine. I'm looking to have like some youth camps. You know, I want to have some, you know, a little bit of, you know, some things I want to do, some ideas, you know, for my signature shoe. You know, we can move forward that way. And they were like, yeah, those are some things we're looking forward to. We're bringing you back, Stefan. And the guy who was there and was calling him Stefan. Like he was Stephon Marbury, and they're like, huh? No, it's Stephen. Or just call me Steph. If you can't call me Stephen, you know, and the guys are, oh, I'm sorry about that. But what's crazy, the guys that Steph Curry knows that are there, that he been friends with all these years, they never corrected this guy. One time. And he kept calling him Stephon. So Curry, that was when he first came in the league. He wanted to do some youth camps down the road. Like, I want to be able to host some youth camps. But they gave the youth camps the year prior to Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, who came in 3 years after Steph had been in the league. And Steph, they got to see if they're going to have one for Steph. And they get ready to show the real. Because what they were saying was that Steph wasn't, and they were making that known throughout the presentation, felt more like an obligation than anything. They were trying to lock down Kevin Durant. At that time, their biggest draw and their biggest attention was Kobe Bryant. LeBron was in Miami at the time, and KD was in OKC. That was their three biggest assignments that they were basically working on. Everything else to them was like a formality. Or, okay, we'll just lock it in when we get it, and if not, who cares? So their attitude towards Steph was like, well, you know, they're doing you the favor by being there and making you an offer. So they get ready to show the pitch module. It has Kevin Durant on the seats, on the presentation slides. Kevin Durant. They forgot to switch it to Steph Curry as they show him the same presentation slide that they showed Kevin Durant. The disrespect that was shown from that presentation is something other teams of marketing can learn from. Don't ever do that. That is so disrespect. No matter if you don't believe in the talent that's in the room, if you're there to sign him to your company, if you don't believe in him, nobody will. Or the person that comes along and believes in him, that person might jump to heights you could never imagine. So after this meeting was done, they thanked the guys for coming by. And Dale Curry, Steph's father, told him, he said, son, don't be afraid to think outside the box on this one. So they went and prayed on it. Said, go ahead and listen to some other pitches and, just think outside the box on what you really want to do in this situation. And at this time, a company that wasn't too known in basketball, at professional basketball, at having a main superstar representative for the sport, Under Armour. It was another shoe company. I think Reebok or Adidas came in. They made an offer. But Under Armour was like, they listened. They were very attentive. They had an idea for the shoe. The presentation was done with the hopes of landing Stephen Curry. They called him Mr. Curry until they were given permission to call him Stephen. Just that little bit of respect was enough. Right there, they were already leaps and bounds over Nike. Just that little show of respect. They didn't even know But that little show of respect put them leaps and bounds on landing Steph Curry. Now, Steph had just came off an injury, another ankle injury. He only played 26 games, maybe, if that. I might be wrong. Don't quote me. In the comment section, y'all be, look, dog, he played more than that. You an idiot. I'll be like, look, I don't know. I just remember he was hurt a lot. He hadn't been in the playoffs. And they were taking a risk. But Nike offered him $2.5 million to re-sign Steph Curry. It was more of a take it and leave it deal with Nike. They weren't willing to go more than $2.5 million. Under Armour said, here's $4 million. You want to do a youth camp? Absolutely. We'll work on setting that up for you. You want to put some tag on the shoe? Whatever, you want to do some designs? We're all for it. Tell us what you would like. The show of respect, the belief, the team. Then it was like, well, we did the deal because Riley, they set the shoes down and Riley was throwing shoes over her head, and which the one she grabbed, that was the one we went with. No, once they signed with Under Armour, the stock rose from $48 a share to $120 a share. Under Armour went from a $14 billion company to a $28 billion company. Steph has made appearances in the NBA Finals 4 out of the last 5 years. So through this deal, they've been in the NBA Finals. It just happened to be a blessing. Then we got to see in the podium little Riley. Riley was huge for selling Stephen Curry's image as the family man. A man who's prided on family. Steph Curry's shoe outsold LeBron James' shoe. A lot of people didn't know that, but it did. Not only that, Nike signed LeBron to a lifetime contract of $1 billion. Steph Curry was time for a re-signing. Nike was ready to give him the works now. They got a new representational team to come in to represent their pitch for Steph Curry. They're coming with a massive deal. Now, Nike had the right to refusal. They had first rights of refusal, which means that any deal that Steph signed the first time he signed with Under Armour, they could have matched it. And then the deal would have been done. There was nothing Under Armour could do. They could match the offer, and that's that. $4 million was way too much than Nike was willing to afford at the time for Steph Curry. And that was that. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad move by Nike. This is a guy who came off a lot of injuries. They probably didn't see his career panning out the way it was going to be. But it was just the disrespect level that made it what it was. And through all this process, Stephen Curry didn't harbor any beef towards Nike. He didn't have any anger towards them. He just wanted to prove them wrong and prove his worth and do the things that he envisioned. So Under Armour gave him an offer that Nike couldn't even pitch when they had a chance to sign Stephen Curry. Nike didn't even get a chance to repitch anything. They were done. Because now Under Armour has the first right of refusal. And what they gave him, Nike wasn't willing to do. They said, Steph, we want to make you part owner of Under Armour. You're going to have a piece of the company. Boom. Now Steph Curry, by the time he's done playing, he's right now, his deal is estimated at about $14 billion. I'm serious. That is a massive deal with Under Armour. He's a part owner of the company. They gave him stock positions, points. Look it up in case you think I'm lying. That deal is worth way more than LeBron's Nike deal. Now people can say, oh, well, Under Armour, they stock could drop. Not really. They're a player in the game now. When you got the best player in the world embarrassing the other player in the Nikes who's falling all over the floor, and then they're scoring and winning championships and he's looking stupid, yeah, that does something. That means those little kids who's like 7, 8, 9, they see the NBA Finals. They see the guy who's putting on the show, who's putting the ball in the net, who's shooting all these threes. They see that. They want to, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go out and buy them Steph Currys. That's what they want to go buy. So I appreciate all the love I get and all the respect I get from you guys and the support. I really do. All you guys been clicking the link in the description box, leaving donations. I appreciate all the love. I really do. Because a lot of this you guys think is just really easy to do. You just hit the button and start talking. It's not. It's time consuming. It's a lot of work that goes in. It's sacrifice. You got to move things around. You don't have time for certain things, and you have to care about some things you don't really care about. Because you got to have some things that you're very passionate and determined about. So I do commend all you guys who come around to listen to the videos. And for you guys who just got here, there is playlists. You know, we have sports beefs, we have sports debates, and everything. But you get educated here. You get educated. This is not some trashy gossip site, as others try to tell you. You actually learn a thing or two. So don't be like the other idiots who just read titles. Actually learn a thing or two. I'm out.